Hi, this is Pat with the StarExec team, and today we're going to be creating a job on StarExec. By this point, you should have already uploaded a solver and a set of benchmarks. If you haven't done that yet, we walked through that process in some previous videos. Now, here I am in my Space Explorer. You can see from the sidebar here that I am currently viewing a specific subspace of the benchmarks that I uploaded. Right now, I am just looking specifically at the pointer benchmarks. As you can see, while I have two benchmarks in this subspace, I don't yet have any solvers, so there's nothing to run these benchmarks. In order to create a job with these benchmarks, I also need to put a solver in this subspace. Benchmarks are only run with solvers in the same space. So I will navigate back to the parent space that contains my solvers, and I will grab the AlwaysSat solver and drag it to the pointer subspace. Now I am given the option to copy the solver or to link the solver to the subspace. Because I have no need to create a second copy of this solver, I will choose to create a link. Now that I have created an alias of my solver in the pointer subspace, when I navigate back to the pointer subspace, you will see that I now have a solver to run with these benchmarks. So I'll scroll down and click the Create Job button, which presents me with this form, where I am prompted for some information about the job I am creating. First, I'll give the job a name, My First Job. Then I can enter a description of the job. I'll just say, Testing my solver and benchmarks. Now I haven't set up a preprocessor or a postprocessor, but your community likely has defaults already set for one or both of these. I'm given the option to select a worker queue. For most jobs, the default here is exactly what you need, but if you're participating in a competition or have some other specific needs, you may need to select a different worker queue. In this case, your community leader will be able to provide you with more information. If necessary, I can set specific limits on this job regarding time or resources. That's not necessary for my test job, so I will go ahead and click Next. Here I'm asked how I would like to configure the solvers for my job. I can either run all of the solvers on all of the benchmarks in this space and in each of the subspaces, or I can manually select solvers from this space to include in the job. I will select the solvers that I wish to include. Now I'm asked how I would like to configure the benchmarks for my job. I can either run all benchmarks or select which specific benchmarks to include. Even though we only have two benchmarks, I think I will select them manually as well. I now need to choose which solvers and configurations I will run in this job. I am presented with a list of solvers in this space, as well as their configurations, and I just need to check the box to indicate which specific configurations to include in this job. Now that my solver is highlighted, I can move on to the next screen, where I can select the benchmarks that I would like to run in this job. The two benchmarks from the pointer subspace are listed here. Clicking on a benchmark in the list will enable it for this job. Benchmarks that are included are again highlighted, and you can include as many benchmarks as you like. Alright, once I click Submit, the job is sent to the worker queue to be executed. So here we are back at the Space Explorer, and now I see that there is one job included in this space. Sure enough, it is the My First Job that I just created. This screen will refresh automatically, so I will be able to monitor the progress of my job. After a short time, we see that the status has been updated to complete. We have just successfully executed a job. To see more information about this job, we can click on the job title, and we are taken to the job details page. Here I can see how much time my solver spent on the benchmarks, some graphs about how successful the solver was, and I can even drill down and see specific job pairs for information about how a particular solver performed with a particular benchmark. And that's how to create a job. Thanks for watching.